Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna PC. This is our Thursday community conference call, which we hold every Thursday, once on our conference bridge and one Thursday on LinkedIn. I'm going to go over the posted questions. In the posted questions, certain questions have been marked as frequently asked questions. I'll do those first. Each time I answer a question, I will ask if there is any follow-up. At that point, if you have a follow-up question, you can press *5 on your phone. No new questions, only follow-up questions. Once I have done answering the frequently asked questions and the other questions that have been posted, if time remains, I will answer questions of people who have called in. Okay? Let's begin with the frequently asked questions first. The first frequently asked question today is the question number 3, which talks about NIW, National Interest Waiver Required Commitment Duration, Adjustment of Status, Naturalization, and Interim Work Status. So that's in short questions, but cover a lot of ground. Number 1, how much and for how long do we have to work on an endeavor for which NIW I140 was approved in order to avoid any issues in adjustment, naturalization, etc.? Okay. So the idea here is this. First of all, if you are born in a country like India, you are stuck for the next 10, 11, 12 years because you won't get a green card for that long probably. If you are from a country which is not backed up, the priority dates are moving well, let's say you got your green card, I would say that if there is a reason for you to discontinue your endeavor after a few months of getting your green card approval, that should be acceptable. Nobody can be tied down to a job or an endeavor forever. But the idea behind every green card is that you are proceeding in good faith to continue to work at the job that you or endeavor you decided on an indefinite basis, which means you did not have an end in mind when you started. That's the normally understood definition of a permanent job. Is there a way to get any status in the US to work on the approved NIW? No. There is one kind of visa, one kind of, not visa, one kind of work authorization, which is called compelling circumstances EAD. Sometimes, we've done that a few times. I'm not very fond of it. A couple of reasons why I don't like compelling circumstances EAD. One, they are difficult to predict. Are they going to give it to you or not give it to you? 2, how long will they take to adjudicate the case? We don't know. 3, they are only given on 1 yearly basis. So you have to keep renewing it every year and face the same problem. We don't know how long it's going to take. Okay. So even though in the books, there is an option for people who have a national interest waiver to work on compelling circumstances EAD, it does not appear to be necessarily a good option. There's another option, entrepreneurial parole. But again, if I remember correctly, I forget how much time it is given for. I think total is 5 years. So you can get it for 2.5 and then 2.5 years. Again, not a great option for people who are born in India because the green card is going to take a lot longer. And having 5 years of work authorization doesn't do anything for you unless you can set up the business and then proceed outside the United States. So NIW has other advantages. And if you want to read up on that, just Google my name, Rajiv S. Khanna, Economic Times, and you'll come to some of my articles. One of them is about how does NIW help people, even people who are born in India. If anyone has a follow-up question on this, press *5. Anyone has a follow-up question? No new questions, only follow-ups. Press *5 on your phone. Okay, let's move on to the next frequently asked question. This is another one that's quite problematic. Impact of DWI conviction on H1B holders' H4 dependent visa stamping and future travel considerations. So DWIs can be a problem. If you get a DWI ticket, you might get an email from the consulate canceling your visa. You'll get the email and it says your visa is cancelled. And it should also tell you that as long as you remain in the United States, you don't need a visa. But if you travel, you will need to go get visa stamping. And the problem is, when you travel and go for visa stamping, they could put you through addiction examination, and that can take a few months. I had a client who went to her home country, and she got denied because the doctor, the psychiatrist she was sent to get an evaluation from, said that she had an addiction problem. So if you have an addiction problem, that's a ground for exclusion. You can't come back. So that's, in a nutshell, the area. Now the question is, I got a DWI. I got convicted on 2 misdemeanors. So they were all a part of the same thing, which is DWI, eluding police. Visa stamping has already expired. Can the wife go and get her stamping done when mine is not done? And the answer is, I can't, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. Folks, I have a lot of people already on the call, so I'm going to lock the conference.
The conference is now locked.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we have a reasonable chance of getting everybody's questions answered. So, simple answer to you is, I have no idea whether they are going to give her the H4 visa stamp or not when your H1 has expired and you have a DWI conviction. No idea how this is going to work out. A lot depends upon how the consulate approaches the issue. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. No new questions. Press *5 on your phone if you have a follow-up question. Area code 804. Okay. Where are you calling from, 804?
Calling from Virginia.
Okay. Go ahead. What is your question?
So my H1B is approved for 3 years, and so I got convicted in April, and it is approved for another 3 years till 2027. So now stamping is like, if my wife go for stamping and she is on H4 EAD, so for her stamping also it will give a problem.
Yeah, because the consulate can say, look, we are not going to issue you an H4 until your husband goes and gets an H1B visa stamping. They used to do that routinely. In between, they stopped doing it. Occasionally, they might again do it now. I have seen cases where occasionally they've said, well, before we give you H4 or L2, tell your husband to go get their visa stamped. And the problem is, if you go outside, then you have to go through the addiction evaluation. And it can delay your case. You could be stuck outside USA for a while. Of course, you can work from outside the US if your employer allows you to. And if you don't have an addiction problem, they should let you back in and you should get your visa, and then your wife can get her visa as well. But do talk to your deportation lawyers before you go. Make sure you don't have any other issues.
Okay.
All right.
So for me, I know I have an issue. If I go, definitely they will give me the 221G.
Yeah, I just answered your question.
I
just answered your question. I have already answered your question. You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, so next question is, this is question number 6, also a frequently asked question. H1B extension is pending. Impact of traveling to India using old visa, returning with 2-3 days remaining on visa. Okay, I understand. So let's say I have an old employer's visa stamp on your passport, on my passport, H1B. It has not expired yet. Now, with my current employer, I don't have a visa stamp, but I'm working for them with approval. and they've applied for an extension. Can I travel outside the United States while the extension is pending and return back to the US with just 2-3 days of the old employer's visa stamp remaining? And the answer is yes, you should be able to. Now, I'll tell you something, I've never been able to find the source of my information that says that you can travel while the extension is pending and it causes no harm. But that I believe and I know to be the situation. I know many people who've done it. I don't remember where it comes from. It could come from maybe one of the comments the USCIS made in a meeting with American Immigration Lawyers Association, or it might be a part of a comment in a regulation. So there are two issues here. One, can I travel? Well, three issues. Can I travel? Let's make it easy. Three issues. One, can I travel with an old employer's H1B visa while I'm working with a different employer with an approval? The answer is yes. Visa does not belong to a particular employer. Number one. Number two issue is, can I travel while the extension is pending? If my employer applies for extension and I travel, of course, old employer's visa, yes, you can. And number three, can I return with just 2-3 days remaining on the visa? And the answer is yes, you should be able to. Just be able to provide proof that you have an extension pending. Okay, I think that's what this question was all about. Let's double check. Traveling to India for medical reasons, I'll return with only 2-3 days stamping validity. My work is remote. Can you provide me a better solution than the below two options? If my visa is not approved, I'll travel to India and return to the US before December 1st. Yeah, I think you can do that. I'll continue to stay in India till I get my visa approved. I think they're both good options. And if you want to not take any chances, then you could take option 2 and wait until your approval comes and then get a visa stamp and come back. And you should be able to do Dropbox, right? So that makes sense. My attorney response is quoted below. If the extension is approved while you're outside the US, your I-94 would be per the shorter I-797. No, that is not true. That is not true. So if I travel and my visa is expiring tomorrow, but my approval is good for the next 2.5 years, when I come back, if the Customs and Border Protection officer is not smart, they'll give me an I-94 till tomorrow when my visa expires. But then if I am smart, I'll say you are wrong. You should give me an I-94 all the way till my approval, which is 2.5 years, not till my visa, which is tomorrow. And if the CBP officer says, no, you say, please, sir, can I talk with your supervisor? Because my lawyers have told me that's how it is supposed to be. And that is how they should do it. Okay? So I disagree with your lawyer. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay, this one is area code 610. 610, where are you calling from?
Yeah, I am calling from Pennsylvania, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah, the reason for my question is that the lawyer, my attorney told that it is based on the last action rule. Once I re-enter the US, my I-94 will be changed. Okay, the answer is no, they are wrong. Any other question? Okay, then I'm good. Thanks, Rajiv. Yeah, you can get a third opinion if you don't believe me. Okay? I'm good with you, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, so let's go on to the next frequently asked question, which is question number 8. H1B options as an F1 student on STEM OPT in a non-profit university. H1B option on non-profit, okay. Cap subject versus cap exempt strategies and transitioning to cap subject H1B in the future. Okay, so typically the way it works is when you get an H1B from a cap exempt employer like a university, you are working on H1B, you never had to go through the lottery because the employer is cap exempt. If you want to concurrently work with a quota employer, cap employer, let's say you want to work for IBM at the same time,
as you work for the University of Missouri. Can you do that? And the answer is yeah. There's a weird exception in law that says if you are working on a quota or cap-exempt job, you may concurrently take up another H1B for a regular employer, and you can hold both jobs together as long as you don't quit your cap-exempt job. That's one. So at the same time, you can keep applying for lottery every year through both employers if you like. Even the cap-exempt employer can apply for your lottery. And IBM can apply for your lottery as well. Well, with the current regulations, you only get benefit of one, but you can when you have genuine jobs from two different employers. And if you get approval of the lottery, an H1B case, now it's your choice. You can still keep on doing both jobs, or you can switch from cap-exempt to cap. Now, what if I get my lottery approval, got my H1B approval, and then I let go of after working for IBM for a month or two, I let go of the H1B, move back to the university. Does that mean I have to go through the lottery again? No. Because you already went through the lottery. You got your H1B approval. You worked for a while for the cap employer IBM, and then you decided to come back to the quota exempt, cap exempt employer, which is the university. You are still exempt from the quota because your lottery was already approved. So that is the entire law in this area. I'm not sure what the questions are. I'm currently in my second year of OPT. My STEM OPT expires. I'm working as a software engineer in a non-profit university. My employer agreed to file an H1B at the end of STEM, but I'm planning to ask my employer to file a cap subject. Yeah, you can. If they do and it gets picked up, all is good and fine. If not, I also have a consulting company. They will also file. That's fine. My question is, either way, if lottery doesn't get picked up, I'm planning to go with cap exempt. Sure, that makes sense. If I do have an H1B cap exempt and my lottery gets picked up in any time in the future, is there a way to bypass this by moving to day one CPT or another and start working immediately for the client? So the concern is, my client may not want to wait for me till October 1st. So can I go back to CPT? Yeah, you could try to convert back. Or even better, the idea that I gave you, just do a concurrent H1B till October 1st. And then October 1st, you can move over permanently. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question, yeah, my suggestion is to do a concurrent H1B. Okay, there is no follow-up? All right. Let me see if there's any other frequently asked question. There isn't. Okay. So this time, normally I tell the team to cut off at 10 questions because I don't have enough time otherwise to take new questions. This time they have 15. So I'll do my best, folks. Students receiving money, converting from F1 to B1, B2 status. This is question number 2. Travel on F1 and OPT start date. Can we add money to our US bank account from friends? Sure. Why not? Any formal declaration? Well, money can come in one of the two ways. It's either a loan or it's a gift, right? So it's a gift. You should check on the laws whether you need to, or the person giving the gift is required to pay taxes. If it is coming as a loan, there is zero problem. When you get the loan, there is no tax. When you give the loan, there is no tax. I mean, when you return the loan. So should there be a formal declaration? Yeah, at least an email or something in writing that says, okay, this is what it is for. My uncle is willing to deposit cash in my bank account. So is it a good practice to deposit money? You can talk with your DSO. That's what a lot of people do. When is it advisable to file for a B2 when on an expiring F1? Does the date have to be relevant to the visa stamp or the I-20 date? So you have to file a B2 while you're maintaining student status or within 60 days after legal termination. So if you're on OPT, you have to file your B1, B2 within 60 days of the OPT expiration. Okay. If my I-20 is expired and the new I-20 is after 6 months, can I go to Canada on a visit? Talk to your DSO. I don't think you can. Can I visit Canada on F1 status? How many months can I stay? Again, depends upon the school. If you are out, I think if you are missing your semester workload, I don't think you'll be allowed back into US with an F1. Normally, you can go to countries like Canada and Mexico for up to 30 days without a visa stamp. That's a different issue. But can you go in the middle of the school for that long? I think that's doubtful. When is the OPT start date? Is it when I file with the DSO, when the I-20 is uploaded? The DSO would write the approval dates on the I-20 itself. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Okay, let's go on to question number 4. Status transition, H1B transfer and name discrepancies on approval notices. I was on H1B. The last date on the payroll is Feb 29th. Applied for change of status to B2 within 60 days. Received B2. Or remember one thing, guys. When you think about the 60-day grace period, it is not always 60 days. It is 60 days after the H1B full salary period is over, or the time remaining on your I-94, whichever is lesser. So if my H1B is expiring in 45 days, I don't get 60 days grace period. I get 45 days. Okay. June 28 B2 was approved, but the validity was from June 28. So this is very common, a gap in the B2 approval and your H1B expiration. I don't think that's going to be any issue. You requested B2 from April 26th. B2 got approved from June 28th, but you did file on time. I think you'll be fine. I don't see any problem. I'm interviewing at multiple companies. Can different companies file for change of status? Yes. While on B2? Definitely. Under immigration law, that's not a problem. In the B2 change of status approval, the last letter of my given name has been truncated. Will this cause issues? No, I don't think so, because if your name is too long for the database field, I mean, you guys are, most of you are techies, you know when you design a database field, you decide how many alphanumerical characters it can take just to reduce the size of the database. So if it is going beyond that, overflowing that allowed limit, if you are working with RDBMSs, if you are working with a non-SQL database, of course. I digress. Bottom line is, if it has been truncated because of database limitations, I don't think that's a problem. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question, press star 5. Let me move on to question number 7. F1 student on an OPT facing STEM extension and asylum application. Sorry, I don't know anything about political asylums. No idea at all. You'll have to forgive me for that. Can't do anything with that. Question number 9. Travel and employment options following STEM OPT expiration. Status of B2 application, grace period, cap-exempt H1B sponsorship from India. My STEM OPT ended in June. I applied for a change of status to B2 on June 5th. So that is within 60 days, right? There's been no update. My grace period ends on July 31st. So can I travel back to India after my grace period while my B2 status is still in case received? No, because if you leave while that is pending, that B2 is considered to be abandoned. It's gone. Okay, and you can't come back. Can I still apply for cap-exempt jobs from India? Sure. You can apply for cap-exempt lottery, anything from India. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question, press star 5. Okay. Question number 10. Oh, there is one question. Let's see. Area code 617. Where are you calling from? Hello? 617? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now. Where are you calling from, ma'am?
I'm calling from New Jersey, sir.
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
So regarding this question, so even where irrespective of STEM OPT is being ended or EAD is being ended, so we can still travel while the B2 is pending. I mean, even though if the application is getting abandoned, right?
You see,
so there won't be any issue.
One thing, don't confuse the two issues. You can travel out anytime you want. Okay, going out is not a problem. The only problem is if you go outside USA while the B2 change of status is pending, the B2 is gone, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, so we just did that. We just did. Now this is question number 10. Oh, surrogacy. I'm sorry, I haven't studied this for a while. We used to do adoption cases earlier, but we got so busy with our employment-based and business-based workload, we stopped taking them. There have been a lot of developments in surrogacy. Your best source of information are two. One is a publication called Foreign Affairs Manual. So just Google Foreign Affairs Manual Surrogacy. And the second one, USCIS Policy Manual Surrogacy. And you'll be able to find all the information. Yeah, our work has been very heavily focused on employment-based and business-based immigration. Question number 11, concurrent filing of Form I-130 and 485 for green card holder spouse. Okay. Can we file I-130 and 485 concurrently? Only if the dates are current. And which dates have to be current? The dates for filing, not the final action dates. So read the State Department Visa Bulletin. If the dates are current, you can file both concurrently. I noticed that F2A category is June 24 in the August 24 Visa Bulletin. Does that mean that when we file the 485, it will go into a pending state? No. What that means is June 24. So first you will file the I-130. That becomes your priority date. So you keep looking at the Visa Bulletin. If the priority date becomes current, then you file the 485. Okay. If we cannot file I-485 at the same time, what would be the consequence if we still attempt to file? It will be rejected. And if the green card is approved, even 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line, they can revoke the green card as having been mistakenly approved. It happens all the time. If my priority date, I can file only, okay, no. The way it works is, let's say I filed my I-130 this month, which is August, okay? When USCIS receives the papers, that becomes the priority date. So let's say my priority date is August 15th. I keep watching the Visa Bulletin. And let's say 3 months later, the Visa Bulletin says that August 15th will be current from next month. So next month, I can file then my I-485. Okay? And what I'm looking for is, if I'm in the United States, the dates for filing have to be current when I file my I-485, not the final action dates. I hope that helps. *5, if you have a follow-up question, press *5. Yeah, sometimes immigration law is so complicated, it makes no sense. Extending B2 visa status, implications of job interviews after H1B employment termination. I left my job in December, applied for B2, change of status approved, good till September. Currently interviewing, need some more time. You can apply for an extension. Yeah, you can say that I'm still waiting to finish my interview process and provide some evidence. I do have I-140 approved. Yeah, that doesn't help much. So yeah, you can apply for a B2 extension. Okay. *5, if you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay. Question number 13. Moving from H1B to EAD, downgrading from EB2 to EB3 and future I-485. I'm on H1B. applied for 485, EAD approved in EB2. If I or my wife start using our EAD instead of H1B or H4, in the future, if my date becomes current in EB3, can I downgrade and apply 485 in EB3? Well, you can downgrade the same 485, but you will not be able to file a new 485. As far as I know, that's how it should work. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question, press star 5. Okay, we are coming to the close of the posted questions. 14th question, employment termination before H1B activation, important aspects of STEM OPT and future employment. My whole team is being laid off. H1B was picked up. OPT expired. But I had applied for STEM OPT just to be safe. So what happens if my employment is terminated before October 1st? Does the H1B visa still get activated? No. If they revoke your H1B before October 1st, which they are required to, your employers, then you no longer have an H1B. You just have to hope that H1B is revoked by the USCIS as quickly as possible. Then you can go back to your school and tell them to reactivate your service so that you can use your STEM OPT. This is quite complicated. If I'm able to find new employment before October 1st, can they file for H1B? Yeah, you can try, but if the H1B request for revoke is sent out before October 1st, you're going to lose your H1B. You'll have to depend upon your STEM OPT. If I find new employment in October, I answered that question already. The problem is, if the H1B is revoked before October 1st, it's very unlikely you'll get a transfer. If it is revoked after October 1st, you can at least try and you might be able to get a transfer. Unpaid leave is not good enough, but if they can just not send a revocation until after October 1st, that is at least somewhat protective. You should also read or listen to our frequently asked questions on immigration.com. I've covered these situations and similar situations there. Is it wiser to apply for a premium processing STEM OPT? No, because you're not going to get STEM OPT until the H1B is revoked. That is the problem. Finally, if my STEM OPT is pending and the employment is terminated, what status do you go to? Well, you're still on F1, right? Even H1B cap is F1. So you should still be on F1. Star 5, if you have a follow-up question, press star 5. Yeah, the problem is when you apply for H1B change of status, the school suspends your service, but they will reinstate it if it's revoked. The H1B is revoked. Okay. Last question. Oh no, second last question. Oh, this is a long one, boy. Employment termination before H1B activation. Oh no, I already did this. Yeah, already did. Yeah, this is the last question. No, second last question. This is question number 15. Activating approved H1B from India. Employer transfer visa validity timing. I received my H1B in September 21. Got passport stamped in 22. They decide to send me in 25. Yeah, so if you had not worked with the same employer who applied for your H1B, you would be in trouble. But if the same employer is calling you and you are coming late, you should be okay. I've done that in the past. But you should have a detailed description from the employer, American employer, why they are allowing you to join late. Okay? So, but if you want to transfer an H1B, I think you'll get a denial. Because what happens is, there was a 2023 decision in which, under similar circumstances, Administrative Appeals Office said, well, you can't really transfer because you never really joined and you look like you had no intention of joining, etc. So, bottom line is, If the same employer who got your H1B approval calls you, you can go to them with an explanation letter. You should be able to work. And then you can transfer. But if you want to transfer to another employer while you are sitting in India with the visa approval of the previous employer, this case may not be approved if the government follows their own rules. Okay. Yeah, *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Last question, layoffs and immigration status, transferring from H1B to B1, B2, expediting I130, and evaluating petition options. My husband has an I130 under the sibling category. He's married over 40 years, residing in US for over 12 years with 2 children. Would it be advisable to withdraw the current sibling petition and file a new? Ma'am, you don't have to withdraw. You can file multiple petitions at the same time. So this is a non-issue. Leave the sibling petition where it is and have parents also apply. But you can't carry the priority date of the old case to the new case. Okay? It doesn't work like that in family-based cases. Yeah, just file multiple applications. That's my recommendation. Press *5 if you have a follow-up question. Okay, good. We have still about 24 minutes. Anyone has any question, press *5. Anyone has any question, press *5 on your phone. So I have 4, 5, 6 questions. All right, let's go to area code 469 first. Actually, you know what? Let me just yeah, that's fine. Area code 469. Let's see.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Where are you calling from, ma'am?
Hi, I'm calling from Texas.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have a question related to H4 visa. Do we have any changes in the H4 visa? Like, are we getting automatic work authorization now? Or
No.
Is it just the EAD process?
There is no such provision. They've done it for others like L2 and E2, but not for H1, no.
Okay.
All right.
That makes it clear. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Area code 804. I believe that's Virginia, right? Go ahead, Virginia.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have one question regarding that related to DWI only. So it will impact my future job, like even the background check.
Yeah, I see.
They will not.
That's
hire
really a question for an employment lawyer. Okay. How do you handle this situation in the future employments? Should you get expungement of your record? If you can get expungement of your record, remember, in immigration records, you will always have to say you've been convicted. Even expungement doesn't help there. But expungement might help, and I don't know, I'm not an employment lawyer. Expungement might help in that you don't have to reveal to the employers that you have this issue in the past, and it should not show up in your routine screening. Okay. So check with your lawyers.
In my present employer.
Ji, go ahead.
In my present employer, I did not. In my present employer, my employer told did not. Means I did not inform to the employer my present. So and they don't have anything like impact on for this. But only thing is like if they do any regular check on the on any social security, so it will they will get to know that I got convicted.
I don't know if that can be done. I don't think that is usually done. But you know, you need to talk with an employment lawyer, not with me. This is not an immigration issue. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go to area code 405. 1 second. 405, where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. I'm calling from Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
So I lost my job in February.
Okay.
And then applied for a B2. And my B2 ends in September end.
Okay.
So I wanted to know what are my other options.
So
because I'm not able to find a new employer.
Yeah, typical same options. Either if you have a new employer, apply for a H1B transfer, and the transfer must be received by the USCIS, not approved, just received by the USCIS within the month of September, which is your current date, B2 date, or go back to school, F1 CPT if you want to study.
Okay, so in this F1 CPT, I do have another college that's starting in this month, 26. My F1 status expired in, like my first F1 I came in was 2018 and it expires in 2023.
Okay.
Do I have to go back to India?
No.
Interview?
You have to go back to India only if you travel, not India, but you have to get a visa stamp only if you travel outside. If you stay within USA, you are just going from status to status. You'll have to apply for a change of status from B2 to F1, but you don't have to go outside USA unless they refuse to grant your status.
Okay, got it. And do I have to take up colleges that give only day one CPT, or can I just go to any normal college?
You should go to a college that you like and a degree that enhances your career. CPT, day one CPT, day two CPT doesn't really matter if you are not interested in the work authorization as much as you are in degree. So you could go to school and maybe get work authorization the following semester or the following year, depending upon the school's standards. But yeah, there is no requirement. Day one CPT is something people like because they get work authorization, but it's not required. You can just go to regular school.
But if I go to regular school, can I take up a job if a new employer?
That depends.
Can I stop my college?
When you pass your college.
No, can I stop my college and just
you
go
can.
ahead with the employment?
You can. If you find that the job is more attractive than the education, there's no law that says you can't go back to work. Sure. Okay.
Got it. My last question is, can I apply for a B2 extension?
Yep, you can.
And the same reason that I gave before, is it going to be
always the
truth.
Easily whatever the truth is.
Okay.
There is no need to make excuses. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
That's all, sir. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Okay. Next one is area code 215. Area code 215, where are you calling from?
Hi, sir. This is Yash. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I have a quick question. So my wife lost her job on July 30th, so she has 60 days till September 28th.
No, sir, one minute.
So
1 minute. Remember what I just said? 60 days or the time remaining on her I-94, whichever is lesser.
Yeah, that's till 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, so her I-94 expires 2025.
Okay, good. So you have 60 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So when is typically a good time to apply for her H4? Is it?
Yeah, I've said this before.
To wait towards the end of it?
Yeah, I've said this before. I recommend if you are going to apply by mail, do it around the 50th day. If you are going to do it electronically online, do it by the 55th day. Okay. The reason I delay it is, what if you get a job in the meantime? You may not even have to apply for a B1, B2.
Okay.
They're gonna. One thing you have to understand: if you are able to apply for a transfer and it is received by the government within 60 days, you can start working right away.
So if she is not able to get a job within the 60 days and she has her H4 pending, and then on the 70th day they file premium processing H1,
she'll have to
typically adjudicate the H4 pending.
Yeah, so you can request that they adjudicate the H4. If they don't adjudicate the H4 and then the H1, they can adjudicate the H1, H4 still pending. They can say, go get your H1B visa stamp and come back. If you already have a visa stamp on the passport, then you are lucky. you can just, while the H4 is still pending, go outside with the H1B approval, return the same day with the old H1 visa, and you are back in action.
But the H4 visa is expired.
Who cares? If her H4 is expired, doesn't... Yeah, I'm talking about H1 visa. If you have an H1B visa stamp
her H1 is expired.
Then she has
current stamping is expired.
Worst case scenario, she'll have to go get a visa stamping after the approval. Best case scenario, they approve everything within US.
Okay. And then she has a lottery-based H1. Can she work for, let's say, the city? Like a government office that requires a non-cap exempt?
Sure. I mean, if the city is going to process her case, I mean, District of Columbia does it all the time. If the city is willing to process the H1B, nothing's stopping them. So government can be an H1B employer, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good luck. But boy, is it ever a pain in the behind to work with the government, because they have like 30 different departments that you have to deal with. But yeah, it's definitely possible. Area code 650. 650, where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. I'm calling from California.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, so I was laid off on a H1B visa, and I've kind of exhausted 30 days of my 60-day grace period.
Okay.
Grace period. So I want to apply for a change of status, but I want to know what is the ideal number of days before which I should.
I just answered that question. I just answered that 10 seconds ago. I said if you are applying
within the 55th day, right?
If you are applying online, then 5 days, within the 5 days. And if you are applying through mail, I would do it 50 days or so.
Okay.
Okay.
And so,
one more thing. Hang on.
Yeah.
One more thing. Let me preempt a couple of things for you. How to apply, what to write in the letter. Go to my blog on immigration.com. On the second page of the blog, you will find an entry that explains how you should file the B1, B2. Number 1. Number 2, on immigration.com, read the frequently asked questions. Number 3, Google my name, Rajiv as Khanna, Economic Times. You'll come to my page, and the most recent entry is how to convert from B1 back to H1B. Okay? So read these 3 sources, and that should cover all your questions. And if you still have questions, come back and talk to me. Okay?
Yeah, I just have one more question. So if I get a job now, does the 60-day grace period like renew, or is it like one time?
So this is it. This is how it works. So let's say your new employer is able to file your H1B within 60 days in the hands of the USCIS. You can start working, 60 days is over.
Yeah.
Okay. You got the H1B approval. Heaven forbid, 2 weeks later you got laid off at this job again. You will again have 60 days.
Okay.
So 60 days comes with each H1B period. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Last question is area code 804. Virginia, DUI guy again? Hello?
Sir, Abhishek this side. I am a returning customer.
हाँ जी, अच्छा returning customer जी. बताइए, how can I help?
So I am based out of Miami, Florida, though my phone code is Virginia. Sir, I am on B2 visa right now, and because of obviously layoff, I got a job in Arizona. And they were filing for H1B for the first time. Okay. Now they started with my LCA thing, and I accepted that offer because I did not have any job at that point of time. Now they filed my LCA. they got an approval of LCA, and by the time they got an approval of my LCA,
एक सेकंड
I got a better offer from other companies.
एक सेकंड Are you the guy who wrote to me कि वो मेरे को threaten कर रहा है?
Yes, sir. I am the guy who got your response as well, and thank you so much for your response. I just wanted to confirm something with you. That's why I asked the question.
ये तो इनको जरा डरा के बोलो, उनको बोलो तुम साले मेरे को, if you don't back off, I'm going to file a complaint with ICE and wage and hour division. एकदम तीर की तरह सीधे हो जाएंगे ये लोग. It's illegal for them to do this nonsense.
हाँ सर, वही क्योंकि सर उन्होंने पहली बार LCA फाइल करा, H1B करा, और LCA होते ही मेरे को दूसरा ऑफर आ गया है.
नहीं, none of that is relevant.
ऑफर ले रहा हूँ और
none of that is relevant. They cannot ask for reimbursement of H1B expenses. That is illegal.
Exactly, sir. तो मैं उनसे मेरी कॉल पे बात हुई थी, उन्होंने मेरे को वही बोला कि अभिषेक हमने तुम्हारे ऊपर एक्सपेंसेस डाले हैं, तुमको वो रीइंबर्स करना है. एंड सर, बिकॉज आई एम एन इंडियन एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई रिस्पेक्ट ह्यूमन रिलेशंस एंड आई एम नॉट टॉट दैट वे, मैंने उनको बोला भी था कि ठीक है मैं रीइंबर्स कर दूंगा. उन्होंने मेरे को लॉयर से 6,000 का बिल भेज दिया है. 6,000.
नहीं,
आप बोल रहा हूँ 6,000 कहाँ से लग गए तुम्हारे?
यू आर मेकिंग अ, पहली बात तो ये है कि ठीक है, आई एग्री, ह्यूमन रिलेशंस आर इम्पोर्टेंट, बट व्हेन समबडी इज वे आउटसाइड देयर, जिसको बोलते हैं ना पजामे से बाहर हो रहे हैं, उनको ठीक करना भी आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. गलत बात है, जो गलत बात है वो गलत बात है. ओके, सो एब्सोल्युटली नॉट. अगर वो आपको थ्रेटन करते हैं, वेट अ मिनट, अगर वो आपको थ्रेटन करते हैं, यू सेंड द पेपर वर्क, ऐसे यू कैन फॉरवर्ड माई ईमेल टू देम. ओके, यू कैन से कि ये मेरी बात हुई है लॉयर से. तो अगर वो लोग नहीं मानते हैं ना, तो जस्ट फाइल अ कंप्लेंट विद द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ होमलैंड सिक्योरिटी, आइस, और वेज एंड आवर डिवीजन, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ लेबर.
Okay, sir, got it. Yeah. So sir, वही है कि last time I had a word with him. I told him कि yes, I want to have a call with you after he sent me his email that I will take appropriate action. ऐसे करके उसने मेरे को email डाला. So I wrote him that yes, let's have a word on a call. Now he's not picking up my call. So as of now, I'm not doing anything, not even writing an email.
नहीं, वो जो lawyers हैं ना, lawyers को email भेज दो. They should know. Just
the
send
lawyer who was filing immigration for me through that company, right?
जो लॉयर ने आपको इनवॉइस भेजा है ना, जो आपने मेरे को फॉरवर्ड किया था, उसी लॉयर को बोलो, अरे बाबा तुम लोग जो कर रहे हो वो इलीगल है, तुम लोग इलीगल कर रहे हो, मैं तुम्हारे को बाहर में रिपोर्ट करूंगा. और एम्प्लॉयर को मैं आइस और डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ होमलैंड सिक्योरिटी में करूंगा.
हाँ जी सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर. आपका रिप्लाई मैंने पढ़ लिया था. बस मैं चाहता था कि मैं आपको अपना सिचुएशन बता दूं, ताकि आपसे एक बार वर्बल बात भी हो जाए.
मैं पिछले 33 साल से ये ड्रामे देख रहा हूँ. जस्ट गो अहेड एंड लेट द एम्प्लॉयर एंड द लॉयर्स नो. लॉयर्स मस्ट नॉट डू समथिंग इलीगल. समझे ना?
एग्जैक्टली सर. ऑलराइट सर, मैं एम्प्लॉयर को भी ये बात फॉरवर्ड कर सकता हूँ, ये ईमेल, अगर उसका दोबारा कुछ आता है मेरे को तो. ठीक है, फिलहाल तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज़ आई हैव ऑलरेडी ड्रॉप्ड एन ईमेल टू हिम. आई कॉल्ड हिम.
नहीं, लॉयर्स को तो फॉरवर्ड कर ही दो जो मैंने आपको भेजा.
ठीक है, मैं लॉयर को सर आज ही फॉरवर्ड कर देता हूँ.
हाँ,
ओके. एंड बाकी सर उसके, बिकॉज़ ही इज एक्सपेक्टिंग मी टू राइट अ चेक टू हिम बाय टुमारो इटसेल्फ.
हाँ, लिखते हैं. हाँ, बिल्कुल करते हैं, लिखते हैं, चेक कराते हैं तुम्हारा अभी. No problem.
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर. थैंक यू सो मच.
You're welcome जी.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So guys, great talking to you. We still have 7 minutes to spare. Isn't that great? I thought I wouldn't be able to do it, but it worked out. Good talking to all of you. I'll see you next Thursday on LinkedIn. Bye.